Oops. Hey Nina, how are you? I just wanted to give you a quick feedback on your writing analysis. Overall, it looks good. I just want you to clean it up a little bit, clean up your own language, make sure that you express yourself, using professional language, and give clear examples throughout so that you're making your point very clearly. So the top part here, the ideas, purpose, organization, remember that those come from the WIDA writing with a purpose reading that we did. And so you can go back and look at that if you need to. The purpose of this piece in reading it and remembering what you and Sharon told me was it seems like the student maybe had two purposes or maybe wasn't clear on the purpose. So one purpose might be to explain and recount how he drew a pumpkin. Another purpose seems to be to give somebody else directions on how to draw his pumpkin. So this is a procedural recount, and the student is slightly confused, I would argue, between whether he is supposed to use I or you. You can see here that he was going to use you and then he used I. So I'm not really sure if the teacher which the teacher wanted. So that's something to make note of. With regards to organization, you might note, how is this piece organized overall? So that it's organized sequentially and that he uses transition words such as first. So you have this idea, just, rewriting it slightly so that you're reminding us that the organization as a whole is this procedural recount. So it's a sequential order. Cohesion, here you want to look at how did he make his writing cohesive and give specific examples. So the sentence you have here is not really related to cohesion, or if it is, I can't tell because you don't have good examples there. Same here. He didn't use any big words that weren't fourth grade appropriate. Not sure, instead of saying that, maybe say that he used simple vocabulary or tier 1 vocabulary such as ... give examples. Sentence grammar, you got some good ideas here with regards to mechanics. In terms of syntax or word order, you might want to make a note of whether or not he has any troubles with that. All right, so that's my feedback on this first part. And again, you can look back at the writing with a purpose reading if you need help with that. In terms of the rubric, you have pretty good start here. Again, I would just say please express your ideas using professional language and be specific. And then connect very clearly your observation or your analysis to your example and to the rubric. So for example, in the area of linguistic complexity, it might be hard to really give a clear example here, but if so, you might explain to me why you picked out these two sentences, why you thought that those are a good example of that he's at level 3, that he's developing his organization. The other part of linguistic complexity and the discourse level relates to the perspective or genre. So that goes back again towards the troubles that he was having in deciding whether to use first person or second person, you, to give people commands on how to draw. So that's just something that I might note, especially for instruction with this particular activity. Yeah, same here. You have some good ideas. Just like, for example, with your first note here, this grammatically, He is not horrible, but he has a lot of room for growth. That's too vague, so I would just probably delete that sentence or revise it so that it is more specific. You have an example, and you can probably leave out these no capitalized, no period, not capitalized, because you can just write it as he wrote it, and then one will be able to see where he left things out. And again, just connect your example back to the rubric again. And that's the same down here. Just you have good examples. Your observation is fine. Just connect it back to the rubric. With regards to your recommendations, you might want to look at the example that I posted. Start out with the ideas part and the organization part. Don't start out with the grammar part. So give the student feedback and instruction based on those things of ideas, purpose, and organization first, and then you can move towards the sentence grammar and the vocabulary and stuff like that. So see if you can, I think you have an okay start here. See if you can develop your recommendation further. Thanks, Nina.